Hello. And welcome. Man, winter's just been too stacked of a season. So let's relax and unwind with this season that might be just as stacked. I mean, check out all the upcoming anime that'll leave us impressed, depressed, and mating-pressed. Which is why you should join me as I continue my journey to discover the perfect anime. Alright, sequel time, and this is a spring of sequels, alright. Dr. Stone, the final season, part 3, and I'm pretty sure that this is the final core for real here. I'm a bit behind on this one, but I've got no doubt that it's going to be one of the most appreciated and talked about anime of the season, maybe even the year. Classroom of the Elite Season 4 will also be one of the most talked about anime of the season, but I don't know if that means it'll be the most appreciated. I enjoy the series, don't get me wrong, but I feel like every time it's brought up online, it's either presented as an absolute masterpiece, or a disappointment when compared to the light novels, or for being too edgy and pretentious. Guys, you can always take the middle road here. I've enjoyed each season, but wouldn't call it an all-time favorite or anything. It's still something I enjoy quite a bit, and they're putting out a 90-minute premiere to start off with. Wistoria Season 2. Now this is one I'm real looking forward to. You aren't going to need much brain power to watch this, but I've got a soft spot for stories where the main character has no magic and a magical world. And I just recently caught up on Black Clover, so this will definitely hold me until Season 2 of that comes out. Reincarnated as a Slime Season 4. Get used to hearing this in my ultimate guides from here on out, because it's the first of 5 cores for this season. Man, if you thought Attack on Titan had awkward naming, then get ready. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten Season 2 is something I'm very looking forward to. This anime was one of the most diabetes-inducing, wholesome rom-coms I've ever seen, but I hope that they pick up the pace a little this season. Like, there's a moment in Season 1 where Amane straight up tells Mahiro that he had a wet dream about her, and her reaction is, "Oh, you should tell me about what happened. It might be important for later." And they're still not dating at this point. Get a room, you two! Oh wait, you have one! It's peak. The beginning after the end, Season 2. Mission Yuzakura Family Season 2 is one I'm not too sure about yet. I had mixed opinions about the first one, even though overall I enjoyed it, but I'm not really jumping for joy about it right now. I'll think about it. Alright, here's a bunch of others coming out too. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-Kun Season 4. Farming Life in Another World Season 2. Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 4. The Most Heretical Last Boss Queen from Villainess to Savior Season 2. Ace of Diamond Act 2 Season 2. And Dorohedoro Season 2 round out the last of the sequels, I'm pretty sure. Are there any I'm missing? Okay, there is another sequel that I should mention, and that's of course ReZero Season 4. Also, I got a copyright strike from ReZero recently. I'm not going to talk about it anymore the rest of the video. But I have seen the first episode already, because recently Crunchyroll started doing this thing called Anime Nights. Every third Monday of the month, they'll broadcast something in theaters, with every 3 months being a preview for the upcoming season. I went to the one for the spring season recently, and I've already seen the premieres of some of these, so I'll go over those right now. Witch Hat Atelier is the most anticipated new anime of the spring, and boy did it deliver. Now I went in completely blind, and after watching the first 2 episodes, I'm hooked. This is definitely going to be one of the best anime of the year already. But I do have one reservation, and that's that the studio behind this is Bug Films, who have only made one anime previously, which was plagued by major production issues, and never really reached the same masterpiece level that it had with its first episode. They're a good studio, however, and I'd just like to see this air from start to finish without month delays again. Demons of the Shadow Realm is the new anime based off of a manga by Hiromu Arakawa, who made a little-known series known as
Full Metal Alchemist.
Now, I won't spoil anything, but the first episode completely changed which genre I thought I was watching in the first 10 minutes. And it left me scratching my head, but in a good way. I'm excited. Drops of God was another premiere they had, and I'll be honest, I'm not really feeling this one. It's an adaptation of a pretty famous long-running manga series, which, believe it or not, already has a live-action series, and from what I've heard, you might want to stick to that one. This really wasn't for me, and I don't think I'm alone on that, because the entire theater was pretty packed, and we're all just kind of laughing at it the whole time. Yeah, don't take a drink every time they say the word wine in this one. You'll die. Go for it, Nakamura-kun, however, was a pleasant surprise. It's got this amazing art style reminiscent of 90s shoujo anime, and it's pretty heavy on the physical comedy too. I'm definitely sticking with it, and it's a perfect segue into the romance section. And if there's one genre that's dominating this spring, it's romance. Gals can't be kind to otaku. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pronounce it correctly. Gals can't be kind to otaku? Gee, I've never seen an anime where a dweeb has a Gyaru fall in love with him before. ×2. Of course I'm watching this. The story between a dumb prefect and a high school girl with an inappropriate skirt length is breaking molds, because with a title that long, you'd think it's an isekai light novel adaptation. Even if Replica Can Fall in Love has a live-action adaptation known as Blade Runner, but I don't think this one's going for the sci-fi angle, actually. Haibara's Teenage New Game Plus is another borderline sci-fi rom-com where the main character relives his high school days, and I hope it works out for him, since while this might seem like a good idea, you often look back at your salad days with rose-tinted glasses, you know? I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class, and hey man, don't go around saying that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to retitle your own anime. I want to end this love game is like, what if Kaguya-sama Love is War was Kaguya-sama Love is War? This is a compliment, by the way. Kiryu Fan Club follows these two girls who formulate all these jokes and fantasies about their classmate, since my man's got no face. I've seen this play out before.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Nino Nakano!
It's Clefairy!
Fuck! Botan Kamina fully blossoms when drunk. Yeah, I didn't have a segue after that joke. The Warrior Princess and the Barbaric King is a new fantasy romance that I could have just saved for the fantasy section of this video. But it looks cute, it's in here. Yoa Yoa Sensei. Oh yeah. This is the exact kind of anime you watch wearing a suit and tie. And while I'm at it,
Marcus.
love meter malfunction, living in a one-tatami room, pervert's apartment complex, and do you like big girls? Are all ecchi anime that I'm just sneaking in here and hoping that nobody notices. Tadaima Ojamasarimasu is an upcoming shoujo adaptation, and with how great winter was for shoujo anime, it's a bit disappointing this is the only one seemingly getting adapted next season. Mistress Kanan is devilishly easy, and The Ramparts of Ice are both pretty noteworthy because they're new productions from Studio Kai, who have been on fire lately with Sentenced to Be a Hero, and now they've got 3 new productions coming out this spring. The third is called Snowball Earth, and I'm pretty interested in this one thematically, since if you didn't know, Snowball Earth is actually a geologic hypothesis, referring to how far into Earth's past the planet was potentially completely frozen over in ice. This is still a debated topic within geology, and it has nothing to do with this anime. It's a sci-fi mecha show, so thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Fist of the North Star. Yeah, we're getting a Fist of the North Star remake in the big 2026, and I'm not feeling this. I'm more than willing to be proven wrong here, and I am all for anime remakes, but this is giving big Berserk 2016 vibes. Ghost Concert Missing Songs is the last upcoming sci-fi anime, and it's set in a world where AI has replaced humans entirely when it comes to making music. Set in the distant far future of a few months ago. One show I'm very optimistic for is Agents of the Four Seasons. I know next to nothing about it other than it's a new Studio Wit series, and they've made key visuals for every season leading up to it. I'm a sucker for media that incorporates multiple seasons well, and yes, my favorite Pokemon generation is Black and White. The Classroom of a Black Cat and a Witch is a new magical school anime, but what interests me the most is this one singular tree. I wonder if witches live here. Kusunoki's Garden of Gods is totally a brand new anime, guys. This isn't Campfire Cooking in Another World Season 3. Magical Sisters Luluto Lily is an upcoming Maho Shoujo series. An interesting fact about this one, it's the 6th Studio Pierrot Magical Girls series and the first one since 1998. Villainess more your thing? An observation log of my fiancée who calls herself a villainess might be up your alley. Or not, because the MC isn't the villainess, but her fiancé instead. Now, normally what happens in villainess anime is her fiancé annuls her engagement in front of a crowd while shaming her name in the first episode, but he seems to be pretty into her. She is, after all, a woman who's been isekai'd into an otome game she loved, but more importantly, her name is, and I kid you not, Bertia No Cheese. Always a catch, and I'm looking forward to this. We need a continuation in the villainesses who believe in action first. Oh hey, genre. I'm going through withdrawals of not having May I Ask for One Final Thing airing anymore. Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon. Season 3 is being covered now instead of in the sequel section, because I wanted to segue into Isekai, and I felt like putting this on timeout because they didn't get Bradio again. But they did get The strongest job is apparently not a hero or a sage, but an appraiser. Provisional. It's truly one of the isekai titles of all time, and I'm half tempted to watch this because, look man, I like elves, okay? I'm just doing preliminary research for my future elf harem when I inevitably get isekai'd. After a very long and fruitful life, research that could better help me, like the MC for What Do You Want to Be in Your Next Life in Another World? Me, the ribs of the hero. Okay, bear with me here. This is an isekai where the main character has a long waiting list in front of him if he wants to get isekai'd as all the cool roles. So he reincarnates as, and I'm quoting the Mal synopsis here, the rib of a hero in charge of a harem, a hermit crab, a vegetable, and even an explosive used to blow up blissfully happy couples. Honestly, I would have just waited 50,000 years. Enough with the fantasy slop. We need more action slop. Kill Blue. Why, did he hurt someone? Is a new action anime where a badass hitman suddenly finds himself back as his 13-year-old self, but he's still employed. Man, who cares about having child soldiers? This is anime, I'm used to that already. Instead, his boss should really go to court for breaking child labor laws. The Hitman Union will be displeased upon hearing this. Rooster Fighter. Okay, I get the joke here. And it actually already started, but like, I'm not so sure about this one. Is this really gonna be interesting enough to carry the premise past the first couple of episodes? I guess we'll have to see. Nippon Sangoku, the Three Nations of the Crimson Sun, could be a real sleeper hit. It's got perhaps the most unique art style of any show I'm covering here. It is a brutal political struggle in a post-apocalyptic world. But I can understand if you don't want to watch a show themed around that due to various current world events happening right fucking now. Petals of Reincarnation, and this is kinda cool. Just like in Fate, the cast is made up of reincarnations of real historical figures. Like, check out this cute character. I wonder who she's supposed to be. What? Marriage Toxin, which is getting the Studio Bones treatment just like Daemons of the Shadow Realm. Yeah, we're in good hands this season. And speaking of Studio Bones, they will be adapting the final chapter of My Hero Academia in a special OVA. Alright, this video is getting too long. Let's wrap up. Starting with Kujima, why sing when you can warble? What the hell? Why, it looks like the Goodnight Poon Poon adaptation came early. The Southpaw, where one of the main characters is a graffiti artist, and therefore some future content creator would take a picture of it, say Japan is dying, only for Chris Brawl to come in and put boot to ass. The Food Diary of Miss Maid looks to be as slice of life as you can get, but there's no Chinese maid assassin here, so emphasis on the life and not slice. Killed again, Mr. Detective. Doesn't have assassins either, but the MC gets killed investigating the murders he's trying to solve. Subaru's got competition this season. Needy Girl Overdose is based off of a very popular visual novel. However, I should mention that there is controversy revolving around this adaptation. Now, this really isn't the kind of video I should delve into that more in depth, but just be aware this is going to be one that's heavily discussed this season. 2 new Madhouse shows are coming out as well, with Liar Game and scenes from Awajima, but time will tell if these series are going to get the same treatment as, you know, Frieren and Orb. Mal. Yeah, half of her. Is the new adaptation from a manga by one of the greatest mangaka of all time, Rumiko Takahashi, who's only responsible for writing everything. And finally, Akane-Banashi, which is a Shonen Jump adaptation, but instead of competition based around aura and fights, it's a competition based around Rakugo. Don't know what that is? Well, it's kind of like traditional Japanese stand-up. And look guys, you don't need to know anything about Rakugo in order to enjoy watching this. I don't know the first thing about ice skating, but that didn't stop me from watching Metalist and thinking that it's one of the best anime of the decade. And this anime looks fantastic. I'm a sucker for a great production that's carried by its performances, especially when that's the main feature. This is the kind of anime that I want people to talk about, as it brings us one step closer to finding the perfect anime. And there you have it, 62 anime and an OVA episode coming out this spring. And don't forget, we've got shows carrying over from the winter like Scum of the Brave. I think that's it actually. Choose a few. Let me know what you're excited for this coming season. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to sub Akane for more Rakugo. Next up is the winter tier list, and then I'm finally going to work on the best anime episodes of 2025. That's still happening. I haven't forgotten. I've just had a pretty busy 2026 so far, and I've been playing too much Overwatch lately. But more anime content coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, and there's also One Piece Season 2. I'm not making that up. One Piece Season 2, coming soon.